The best way, in my mind, to make the top out of some kind of older rustic looking wood, and the cheapest way, is to use a railroad tie. You can find these at almost any Home Depot or Lowe's, or even at some gardening stores. They range anywhere from maybe $20 to $40. And you can make the whole top out of that. So what we're gonna do is actually cut it in half, and make sure that both sides are cleaned up. As you can see, this side already looks pretty good, and the other side is pretty dirty, and might even have some little pieces of like cement or rock stuck into it. So we're gonna clean that up with a wire brush. All right, so after you cut the railroad tie in half, the next part obviously is to cut it to the length that you need for your space. We are going for 55 inches. So we are marked right here at 55. And then if you want to, what you can do is when you cut this other portion off, is that leftover, you can turn it so it is going the opposite direction to kind of cap off. I'll show you that in a minute. Of the, all the other pieces of the log, especially, on this one, you can see the huge color difference. But because you cut your ends off, right, you have these pieces that are worn on all sides. So all that you need to do is you put one of these on each end, and as you can see, it matches, right, the worn piece of the wood. So you'll just turn it vertical, this way, and put it on each end. You can do the same with the other side, and then it'll cover up all of the kind of unworn edges. The last thing you are going to do with the table saw is send it through one more time, barely cutting off the edge that you are going to glue to the other piece of the top. As you can see, there's obviously some parts are lower than others, but this gives you a perfectly flat, clean edge that will glue a lot better than if you were to have it really uneven, so that all pieces weren't touching. All right, so there is the kind of template, I guess, for the finished top. Nothing's, glued together or anything, but if you can see, what I've done is, like I said, you have your edges all the way around that look worn, right, from how you cut it. So you can see that on both ends. Then, like I said, you're gonna run it through the table saw one last time, and you're gonna cut off every edge so that you have a very, very clean edge. You can take knots out, right, because they're not gonna, glue won't stick to them very well, so you can get those off. But I have all clean edges. Both ends, on the inside, both sides, clean all the way around, so the glue will stick really well. You're gonna obviously put the glue on all the way down, and then you're gonna use a little, I just use scrap wood, a little stick, and you just spread it out. All right, so I have my boards glued together. Obviously you need to make your edges as seamless as possible, but can't do anything else with this until it dries. So you can see how close all the edges are. And then again, you know, this will be capped off on the end with another board so you won't see those kind of new wood edges. All right, so I've got my dowel pins in the outside pieces, the edges. Now all I have to do is line them up, trace them, and then drill them out so that they go into, obviously, the main part of the tabletop. All right, so I've got the top totally put together now. Pretty much seamless. I did end up putting 2 screws in the very back just to help give it a little bit more support, but turned out pretty good. All the edges are pretty flat and even. There you go. All right, here is the completely finished product with the coats of polyurethane on it. As you can see, the top got a whole lot darker, which I knew would happen, and honestly, I kind of like it better. But it seems to match our floors pretty well. So there you go.